I've just lost all my belief totally. I can't, there's no way I could ever believe in what I consider is the supernatural.
Don't never say I can't. I have heard people saying the same as you say. I have friends that used to be atheists, staunch atheists.
Yeah.
Now they are Muslims. Never say never. The reason why, it just takes something to flip your heart like this, and you will be something else.
It's based
There's
on,
no
on
objectivity in
evidence.
it, it's all subjective.
So what is your view about the origins of the universe?
I don't know, but religious people know. That's the difference.
I think the default position of our species is we know that it is created. And people who are skeptical or atheists are a tiny minority who, for whatever reason, are very skeptical. But I think the default position for our human race is belief, regardless of how we're brought up. And this is the natural belief. We believe that all this extraordinary universe with its beauty, its exquisite complexity, cannot come about by random chance or just coincidence. Clearly it's designed. The laws of physics, for example, and the anthropic principle.
Well, that's why
and so
we
on.
exist, because the norms of physics are natural. That's why life exists on Earth. Anywhere else does it exist? Why didn't God make
the Quran says at the beginning, it talks about God as being the... Well, excuse me,
because it's just a book.
Dude,
I can tell you about...
Have you seen this? This is about the Quran.
Yes, I know.
You can't come here and say, don't want to talk about the Quran. But
What, the Quran?
The English.
Do you want to give it to someone or?
Because you're in the wrong place.
You're Muslim?
Yes. Just because I read about Little Red Riding Hood.
Because normally I don't give it to Muslims.
It's in a book.
But you can have it. There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
And yet you don't even want to hear.
If you read it and finish with it, and you're now a non-Muslim, give it to them. You'll get the reward for that.
I will.
Okay, my brother? Okay.
Discuss.
Well, you need to allow us to talk about the Quran.
I'm listening. I never interrupted. I've never interrupted.
You
I've
just
been here
did.
for an hour.
Yeah, he's been listening attentively to you.
He wouldn't let me talk about the Quran, and he's here and it says,
Oh,
the Quran.
yeah.
And they say, why are you here? He needs to go somewhere else.
You asked me what
So
I
I've invited
believe
him to go somewhere else, but he's still
in.
here.
What I believe in.
So I have a right to quote the Quran because this is a Quran booth, and you know this, unless you're blind. So the Quran says right at the beginning that God is the Lord of all the worlds. It's not just life on earth, there's life in other dimensions. For all I know, there could be life throughout the universe. But God is the Lord of it all.
According to commentators, bees are a nation, which is the world's nations. Bees are nations, ants are nations, all of this. And God is the Lord of all of that.
Including the unseen realm with angels
Yes.
who use dismiss without any evidence, the jinn and so
The
on.
jinn, yeah. So,
So
do you believe in demons and angels?
It's all fantasy.
how do you know it's all fantasy?
I believe it's all fantasy
Yeah, what's your evidence?
because it's supernatural.
And why is supernatural fantasy?
Well, same as a God thing is supernatural.
Do you only believe what you can see and touch and quantify? Is that right?
Yes, but logic and rationality has got to come in.
Can you prove that other people have consciousness and minds other than your own at the
Of
moment?
course, other people have.
Can you prove that?
Because you can just hear what other people believe, what they actually.
No. How can you prove that there are minds independent of your mind in these bodies that you see walking around?
Because we're not all the same. People, we're not all the same.
We're not all the same.
No, there's different beliefs.
Do you believe I have a consciousness and a mind?
Of course you do.
Where's your evidence for that?
I believe it.
So you just believe on faith?
No, I believe you're conscious because else you wouldn't be alive if you weren't conscious.
Yeah, but how do you know I could just be an automaton? I could be just a machine.
You're being ridiculous now.
No.
I believe you're an
Yeah,
automaton.
I'm asking you for evidence that minds other than your own exist, and all you can say, if I question that, I'm being ridiculous. Then let me ask you another question. Can you prove to me that this universe around you even exists? What is your evidence?
Or it existed.
Yes.
Because I'm experiencing.
Oh, your subjective feelings tell you the universe
No, I
exists.
know it's. I can feel the wind blowing.
Well, what is the physical?
I can't see it.
Give me
but I know
scientific
it's-
evidence that outside of your mind that this universe exists. I want independent. You can't refer to the universe because that is the very thing that I'm asking you to establish
Yeah, but you
exists.
people use circular arguments as well. You use the Quran to prove that the Quran exists.
So your
the
argument-
Bible is people
Okay.
say passages in the Bible to prove it.
So you accept yours as a circular argument then?
No, because I'm not.
You say we can use circular argument, so you're using a circular
No, I'm
argument.
not using it.
Okay. What is your evidence, independent of the universe, that you prove that the objective world exists?
Because it's self-evident.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, good. To me, God is self-evident.
Okay, that's fine.
So God is self-evident because all of this could not come about by accident or by randomness. It has all the features of design and exquisite fine-tuning. It is self-evident, it's axiomatic to me that this is created by the universe.
Not to
But
me.
you see, you have used this criteria is of self-evident. This is your argument. It's self-evident, but it's called the fitra. The fitra
Natural
is a natural
inclination.
disposition to believe. Now, there are some strange people in the world, like yourself, who have a problem believing in what is evident to 99% of the human beings in history.
99%
It's like some people have lost a sense of taste, or maybe they're blind, or maybe they can't walk. There are people who can't function fully, perhaps. But to function fully, normally as a human being, you would believe that this is the creation of some wondrous intelligence, and you say it's self-evident. But that's not an argument.
How come it exists?
Do you think this writing in here? Do you think this came at random or someone did that?
Humanity evolved.
No, it's not. Look. My question is simple.
English wasn't.
No,
isn't
but do you think?
50,000 years old? 4.3 billion years old.
Did you hear my question? I asked you if this has come randomly, or somebody with intelligence, with will, with awareness, with power did that.
Somebody wrote that. Is that what you mean?
Okay, so somebody.
Is that what you're saying?
So would you like to say? Would you like to accept that the person who did this is self-aware?
Self-aware.
Yeah.
Whoever
With that
wrote
awareness, with that awareness, could he have done that?
No, everything humanity does is done through lived experience and evolution.
What evolution? I'm talking about this writing. Asking him, is it?
Einstein, he said the word is engineering so precise that need a big engineer doing that. That's Einstein, not him, not you. So that's the science.
Einstein's opinion. It's his opinion. Doesn't make it real.
He was
Yeah,
an
but you
atheist.
are not more clever than Einstein.
days.
I'm not. He's not.
I'm not clever.
So Einstein, he believes in that. He said he's so.
Born a Jew, but I don't know how much he believed.
Anyway, I'm going to move on.
Thanks very much, Paul. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning
Don't
in.
forget your.
I'm much more enlightened.
You see, at the end you forgot it. Yeah.
I'm trying to forget it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
See you later.
Christians, depending what you say, some people think that Jesus is God, so they believe in Jesus as a God. No, but that's where we differ with them. So the nearest people to us are the Jews, because we believe in the same God. We call it Allah, they call it Elohim.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Monotheism.
yeah. But the Christians, they say that they are monotheistic, but then they believe in the Trinity,
Yes, I know.
which has got no explanation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which has got no explanation. But what's your name, by the way?
Hilton, like the hotel.
Okay, Hilton.
Yeah.
You tell me, please. Since when did you kind of like lost? What was it in your youth, or was it late in life, or when did you
In
kind
my
of
20s or 30s. I was brought up with religion.
Okay.
I was brought up in a Jewish tradition.
Oh, okay.
which
Oh,
I
you were a Jew.
totally,
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not, because I totally abandoned and rejected everything about
Okay.
it. I don't do any of the rituals or
Yeah, I see.
celebrate any of the
Yeah.
holidays, which I was brought up with. So I don't have a belief.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm just interested to know about the God thing, because why can Jews drink alcohol and Muslims not? If it's the same God, it makes no sense.
No, I'll tell you what. We believe in progressive revelation. So, and we believe that each and every nation, when their prophet comes to them, he comes with a certain rules for that, specific for that nation. Okay, specific for that
It
nation.
should be the same, it's the same God.
No, but people were at different times. For example.
And Christians can eat pork.
No, but
There's different rules.
look, you
It's
know,
the same
Jesus, if you go to Leviticus, you know, like you would know
That's one of the
Leviticus,
books.
yeah. In Leviticus it says that it calls the swine as a dirty animals that shouldn't be eaten.
Christians eat
But
it.
Christians eat it. Why? Because
what I'm
Paul is the one that told them that they can eat it. They don't get circumcised. And Jesus was circumcised because Paul told them not to circumcise. So
What
there-
authority did Paul have
Yeah.
to go against God's wishes?
I asked the Christians the same thing, and they have no. They say, oh, he had a vision, Jesus. But we go by, like in the Quran, it says, don't eat pork, don't drink wine, don't commit adultery, don't fornicate. These are teachings which actually they go with the teaching of Moses.
Yes, they
Peace
go
be
to
upon-
the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, with the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not steal, shall not kill, shall not. Okay, we follow these commandments, we follow them as Muslims. Now, Jews follow them. But let's say, if at the time of Moses, the Jews were allowed to drink, then what happens is, like when the Prophet came, peace be upon him, Arabs, they were a drunkard kind of tribes, and they loved their wine. And you know, wine, and in the desert, it doesn't play well with the mind. Yes. So what happened? God tried to stop them from, but he did it in 3 different stages. Stage 1, he said, do not go to pray while in an intoxicated state. Then he put another stop after a little while, because Quran is progressive revelation. Then he came to say, stop drinking, and all of the Muslims stopped drinking. Now, are there Muslims that do drink? Yes, they are. Do they go against the teaching? Yes, they go against the teaching. So the problem is that some people do something or that. It is the teaching can say so, but people go against the teaching. It's like, look, we live, we live in this country, so we are kind of like under certain laws and rules and regulations and that.
Which might conflict with your own.
No, but it's not even conflicting about
culture.
But you know what happened? Hilton? Sometimes certain people go against that law, kind of break the law, and then they end up having a punishment, either jail, either paying a penalty or something like that. So we believe that every prophet that went to a nation, he went with certain commandments. Isaiah with his own commandments, Ezekiel with his commandment, Malachi with his commandment, Hosea with his commandment, Job with his commandment. And sometimes the commandments, they get abrogated. Something wouldn't be allowed for certain people. Then when a prophet comes, another prophet comes, he will make it haram. You know, even in Hebrew it's haram. Yeah. So this is what happened. This is what happens.
Yeah, but it seems to be, you think that there's one authority.
Yeah, one
which
authority.
everybody must submit to.
We submit to the one authority, which is God. As I said, even the Jews submit to the same authority. It's only the Christians where we have the problem with the Trinity and so on. But apart from the Trinity, we and the Jews, we believe in the same thing.
Very similar.
Yeah, we believe in the same thing.
The belief system. That's right. Even parts of the language.
Yes, Semitic. That's why we were discussing with the gentleman from America. Semitic languages. So they're near to each other. We come from the same father, which is Abraham. We are from I'm an Arab. I'm from the Ishmaelite line. You are from the Jacob's line. Isaac line, Jacob line. Yeah. So we cousins.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I just lost all my belief totally. I can't. There's no way I could ever believe in what I consider is the supernatural.
Don't never say I can't. I have heard people saying the same as you say. I have friends that used to be atheists, staunch atheists. Now they are Muslims. Never say never. The reason why, it just takes something to flip your heart like this, and you will be something else. We believe as Muslims that the hearts are between 2 fingers of the fingers of the Almighty. He tosses them the way He wants. So Even you find sometimes Muslim, he is a believer one day, and then suddenly he dropped the belief the next day. So our hearts are are between the fingers of God Almighty. He turns them the way He wants. You today, you say you are an atheist, you don't believe, you are a religionist, you don't have a religion. Tomorrow you may come and say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. No, look, you say impossible, but impossible, it doesn't mean never. It doesn't mean never.
In my conception, in my personal situation, it does mean never. Because I can't conceive of such a thing as a supreme supernatural entity. It's like a child's fairy tale. It's not real for me.
But you think we just came like that, like that? Our existence? No problem. You think that our existence just came by mere chance?
Yeah.
Or couldn't have been?
Well, we can come from a unicellular organism and develop from there. Life
That
develops.
unicellular organism,
Yeah.
where did it come from?
Well, I don't know. It could have come from proteins or...
Yeah, but them proteins, where
You
did
can
they
always
come
go
from?
back and say, where did it come
That's what I mean.
It's like the God argument.
So,
Who made God?
yeah,
You know,
no.
you can go back
No,
forever.
what happens is, we can go back until we say nothing. Until we say nothing. It can, but you know, nothing is the absence of everything.
Yes.
Okay? So that wouldn't have just come out from nothing. Somebody must have put it there. Somebody must have created it.
I hear what you're saying. When there's an absence of knowledge or proof, we invent something. It's called the gap of knowledge. We invent something to fill up our unknown, our gap of knowledge. And that's what the God theory is to me. It's just filling in that gap because we don't know. I mean, the Earth, scientists have proved, is 4.3 billion years old. And some people believe that the Earth's only 6,000 years old. And
But you know
created
why?
it.
You know why? Because they go to the Bible, they go to the Old Testament, and they read the genealogy until they come to Jesus. Then that's 4,000 years of genealogy, and then they add the 2,000 years, and they say 6,000 years. But you and me, we know that this world is more than 6,000 years.
Quite.
Now,
Absolutely.
yeah, now this is, certain things are so common that even a little baby will understand them.
Yeah.
So that's talking about that is not a problem. I always, when I have debates with Christians, I ask them this question: how old is the universe? And believe you me, they say 6,000.
That's crazy. Because our species is only about 250,000 years old. The human species.
Yeah.
So what did God do from 4.3 billion years to 250,000? What was He doing in that period?
What we say, the creation came in stages. God created, we know they say in 6 days, yeah?
Yeah.
So in the 6 days which God created this universe of ours and other universes, I believe that there are other universes out there. So this creation, we do not know what's the calculus of one day in the presence of God. It could be one day for us is 24 hours. In the presence of God, it may be 1 billion years.
So why is the word day used? In what context?
Yeah, that's
The days are 24 hours.
No, but because that's the concept we take now.
I know it's an English word,
But
day.
there at that time,
I know what you're saying.
it's a different concept.
I know
A
what
different
you're
concept.
Yeah.
So I mean, you go to one rabbi and you ask him about the 6 days of the creation, he'll tell you something different than another rabbi.
That's the whole point. They like stories. When the opening line of the Bible is, in the beginning, God created.
Because created.
Who wrote that? Who was there to witness it? Was there somebody else telling us the story?
Look, this is the thing. We kind of like, when I was talking to the American gentleman, I mentioned to him that the authors or that the authors of the Bible are anonymous. The reason being because, as you know, the temple got destroyed twice, and the Torah was supposed to be there. So we know that Ezra was the one that rewritten the Torah for the Jews.
Right.
But where is it now? Where is it?